All right, everybody. So today we've got the kids some new dirt bikes. So this one will be Madison's, and this one will be Mason's. So I want to do like a little unboxing on this SYX Moto bike. So first things first, I've noticed, here's the boxes, they just came out. Just opened them. So as soon as I put this one on the ground, I noticed that handlebars are all scratched up. And this is from out of the factory. The stickers don't stay. They're oversized. They're too big. They fit perfect in some spots, and they follow the line that it's supposed to be against. And then they're too big, and so that's kind of cheap. Definitely a cheaper bike. Obviously, it's only 350 bucks, but as long as it runs, I guess we're good, right? So the seat obviously wasn't fit right. It's got like a bubble in it. Not too much with this one. The front forks are really weird. They don't actually line up. You can't see it now that I put this on, but they don't line up exactly. They're kind of twisted. Okay, that's that bike. This bike I just pulled out. So again, scratches and marring here. I haven't really looked over this bike yet, but same thing here, all scratched up from the factory. You can see the cheap welds. Everything is all bubbled up. Handlebars, same things. Brand new. Got scratches on it. Probably from packing and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's 350 bucks and it's a dirt bike. So let's put this thing together and then we'll have two ready to go. See, this one you can see the forks are actually straight. They kind of line up. That one was not. On that one, this fork is actually bent like backwards a little bit. I'm hoping it won't be an issue with riding. We'll find out when they get on it. So let's see. All right, time to put the other one together. First thing you do is you're gonna attach the rear spring to that bolt hole right there. From there, go ahead and put that front tire on there. It's not too hard. They give you 3 spacers here. This is basically, I'm guessing, to hold the forks at a distance. But you're gonna get rid of this one and you're gonna use one of these on each side of your wheel. And then that'll keep that spacing with your new wheel. All right, really not much else. You're gonna put the handlebars on. One thing they don't explain in their instructions is, where's the new one? They don't tell you anything about this piece. That piece goes over the handlebars. Just kind of pushes down on there. I'm trying to think of what else they don't tell you about. They don't tell you anything about this hose. So we'll talk about that. That's about it, I think, as far as what they don't tell you about. Oh, they don't tell you any sticker placement, and yeah, they don't even give you a front sticker for the plate in the front, your number plate. They don't give you a sticker for that. So, all right, let's get this thing built. All right, so I just started putting the green bike together. I did the red one. As you can see, this is the bolt I'm talking about. Comes in, goes through, and just locks in. Not a big deal. Let's go to the green bike. Let's see what's wrong. So they went and drilled that hole to put it through, but there's no hole on the other side. So there's no way to get a bolt in there. Let's see if you can see it. See that? There's no hole in the other side to get a bolt in. So we're gonna have to drill a hole. Awesome start to this build. Okay, so now I just went ahead and I drilled a 5/16 hole in that side. So now we can put this back shock on there. All right, well, I'm glad it wasn't Christmas morning and then my kids were waiting to ride this, because it took a while to re-drill that, get the right tools, put it in. Also, the nut on this side for both bikes, there's not a tool that's included, so I had to use an adjustable. Yeah, let's see, moving on. Let's do the handlebars. Pretty straightforward. I sat on the bike to adjust them to where I think they should be. Obviously, if you have a kid, give it to them. If you build it with them, they can kind of sit on here, see where their hands fit compared to if the brakes are too high or too low. These actually came, this brake is higher than that brake right off the bat, so I'm going to adjust that once the kids get on it. But all right, let's put the handlebars on. Okay, handlebars are in. Simple enough. Put your two top brackets on, and then 4 machine screws with your Allen key and Allen wrench, and you're set. All right. Now, my dust cap actually fell off. It's supposed to be a little dust cap for the fuel tank. Pull that out, make sure there's nothing on it. Here's the actual one for the fuel tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there just so we don't get any debris or anything else into there. That would not be good. All right, onto the front wheel. Simple enough. Take this off, slide the bolt out, and then you're gonna put this just like this. Your brake is obviously on the side of the brake. And I'm curious because on that bike, the bottom screw that you have to put on, let's see here, so this one's here. You've got to put this one in. It did not line up. I had to force that thing to get it to finally go in. So let's see how this bike compares. All right, here we go. Okay, so you're gonna have a spacer here and then one on this side. Now, a trick to this is the inside of this wheel slides and you can't get the bolt in. So get the bolt started, come on this side, push in. You can use this to wiggle the center of the axle to get it straight so you can get the pin in, the bolt in, and then you can come back over here. Once you got that in, go ahead and put your other spacer on, and then go ahead and line that up and drop it onto the other one. Camera's kind of sucks doing this, so see if I can sit it here. It's not gonna stay. Once you got that, go ahead, bolt coming through. Go ahead, now we can lock it on. The wheels on, just gotta tighten it. So I'm purposely not using my tools, I'm using the tools that were given to me. And so I'm tightening this front bolt and nut. And this is their tools. That's hand tight. So the problem now is, if you ain't got the tools, you're just gonna go ahead and spin right off of that because, well, because it bent. Again, that wasn't even really hand tight. So I'm gonna get my tools out and finish tightening that one up. And then we'll move on. All right, now we're gonna move on to the front brake. We're gonna go ahead and slide this over our brake. You can see where it's slotted. It's gonna slide right in that slot. And then you're gonna put a machine screw right in here, and you're gonna lock it in. All right, so that one actually went right in compared to the red bike. I do notice though, it already looks like there's rust on this and it's brand new. Anyway, moving on. Stand this back up. We've got the kickstand down now. We've cut the zip ties for our foot pegs. Now, one piece that I said they didn't have instructions for was this. This goes like this. You just pop it on there, push it down on. Doesn't really even fit well. It kind of rocks back and forth, but that's it. That's kind of all it does. This one I think is pretty much the same. A little tighter, but it's pretty much, that's it. Okay, moving on. One thing I just noticed is, why is this so far back? Oh, it's just not tight. So this thing is not tight, that's why. So we're gonna go ahead and fix up that engine stop. We'll get that tighter. I noticed the handlebars say happy baby. Odd, but whatever. All right. What is our next part? Okay. Front plastics. We've got some more machine screws. And here we go. All right, so on this one, see how these two, not the bolts we're putting in, but the two plastic ends that are sticking out. This actually has holes in the top for them to go through. This bike did not, and I had to fix that. So if yours is blocked off or there's holes on it through, you'll have to get a razor blade and put the holes in it so that it'll actually seat properly. The other part is, as you can see the bolts lined up here, when the bolts go into this from underneath, we'll see if these line up. On this bike it did not, and I had to bend the plastic a little bit in order to make it conform to fit the spacing that is pre-drilled between the two. Alright, so I will say that the most tedious part of this bike is these front pieces. And now, these two screws back here lined up better. Not that big of a deal. But the front one, as you can see, doesn't go all the way in because it wasn't drilled out deep enough. So that is all the way seated as far back as it'll go, and it cannot go back any further. So, there's gonna be a little play in there, but it is what it is because that's all they machined it. And I don't have a way to fix that. Onto the front number plate. Alright, so the instructions aren't too clear on this part. First off, this is the one that goes in there. It doesn't actually fit through on either bike. So with that said, you kind of got to spin it or screw it in, or go ahead and grab a drill bit and make it fit. The other part is this piece. I don't say a whole lot about it. And there's a little washer. There's a little washer they give you. Yeah, this doesn't tell you anything about that. So I put both bikes together so far, and the only thing I can think of is fits here. As you can see behind here, that spacer. Oop, I hear my kids. I better check to make sure they're not trying to spy on their Christmas presents. It goes right there. So it's gonna go bolt in. Which we can put this down and get it in. Okay, so like this. Got that in there. Now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put it on those pins, and then we're gonna cover these cords. So those pins go on here, down here, and then this goes in the front. Okay, voila, number plate is installed. Okay, and I am pretty sure that's it for this bike, except for the stickers. And honestly, I'm gonna let you figure out the stickers because they can pretty much go wherever you want. Kind of give you an idea. That sticker, this sticker. This is tricky because this sticker here, actually, there's another piece of that sticker that goes up that's clear. So when you're like, what the heck is this? Or they didn't cut the whole piece out, that's why. So there's a clear piece here, and then this is all one sticker. Front stickers, which, like I said, gotta have some trim. They won't stay down if you try to tuck them. So I'm gonna take a razor blade to those, and it's put together. I'm gonna put the stickers on this one, and we'll get it fired up. We'll mix the fuel, and we'll let you hear how they sound. I was gonna say this is probably self-explanatory, but we might as well do it. The bikes call for at least a 91 octane rating of gas. You're gonna go ahead and take some oil that you would normally use. You can see the fuel goes to that line, oil to that line. So we're gonna go ahead, add some oil. And I think we're good. Perfect. All right, and that's how you do that. And you're gonna shake this up once you put the lid back on it. Go ahead and fuel up your bike. All right, so I've got both bikes put together. Here they are. They actually look really cool. I will say I had to take a heat gun to all the vinyl to get it to actually stick. So I highly suggest that. The other thing I did that nobody said anything about is I adjusted the front brakes on both. So they wouldn't be, well, first off, they're equal, okay? One's not harder than the other. But the other part was, this one you could pull almost all the way in for the rear brake to get it to stop. Front brake, you even touched it, and the front tire would lock up. And for a little kid, that would not be fun. One thing I will say is, if you watch this, when I hit the front brake, and I'm moving, let me see if I can see it here. So watch the front tire. Let me see how I can do this and hold the brake at the same time. You see that? You can't see it. Anyway, what happens is when it's moving, there you go, you kind of see it shake. Back up again, see if we can get it going. Watch the front wheel shake. See how it turns? See how the All right, so every time I hit that front brake, front wheel actually turns. That's how cheap front forks are. See it turn? So, I hope that does not become an issue, because if those forks were to break or something, that could really hurt a kid. So that is actually a safety concern. This other bike, this green one, does it a little bit, but not near as bad as the red bike. So, I might take that out and test it myself before I let my daughter ride on it. Other than that, bikes overall seem good. Now, I just put fuel in this one, so we'll go ahead and start it, and let's see how many times it takes to start on the first shot. So, we should do this outside because I have a barn full of hay. Let's take it outside. Here they are running. We'll let them burn off a little bit before we take them out. So if you're looking at them, the green one sits still while it's running, and the red one's a little